Smoke. OVS. Old Virginia Smoke. Old Virginia.
This podcast is brought to you by the Kansas City Barbecue Store, the official provider of barbecue supplies to listeners of Pitmaster. And you don't want to miss out on this discount from the Kansas City Barbecue Store. From smokers and fuel to rubs and sauces, the Kansas City Barbecue Store has everything and anything you could possibly want. Make the Kansas City Barbecue Store your one-stop shop for all your outdoor cooking needs. As a listener of the OVS Pitmaster podcast, you can get 10% off of your order this spring by using the code PITPOD, P-I-T-P-O-D, all caps, for online orders at www.thekansascitybarbecuestore.com. This podcast is brought to you by BarbecueData.com. BarbecueData.com is your one-stop shop for all of your barbecue competition data. Historical data, calls, wins, placements, everything under one roof. It's a great way not only to track yourself in the standings, but also to track how you improve your scores from year to year. Listeners of this podcast can receive 20% off of a new subscription to BarbecueData.com with the code PITPOD. That's one word, all capital letters, P-I-T-P-O-D, PITPOD. So check your team scores, check on others, and do it all on BarbecueData.com. Welcome to another edition of Pitmaster, an Old Virginia Smoke podcast. My name is Luke Darnell, and we have a very special guest with us this week, coming right out of the Royal. We both got home. I think Mike got home on Monday night. I got home yesterday. But please join me in welcoming Mike Steele from Barbecue Champs Academy. He is also the head pitmaster for Pigs and Cows Gone Wild. And he was at the Royal this week, and man, what a great time it was, wasn't it?
It was absolutely amazing. We had a great time getting to see all of our barbecue pitmasters, our barbecue family. We had a great time, and I can't wait to go back.
I can't either. And I guess we can talk slightly about the elephant in the room. You know, they're going through some scores and making sure they got everything right. And I, for one, am glad that they're doing it. If there was an issue and they needed to check it, then it's best that they make sure it was right. Sunday was a little weird with the delays and everything, but I think most people made the best of it and still had a good time.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I'm reading some of the message, you know, on Facebook, and people's all pissed off, this, that, you know, things happen. You know, could there have been a backup in place? Maybe they'll actually do something now to get a cloud or something like that where they don't have that. But, you know, they did the right thing. They took their time. They got it right. They didn't want no mistakes. And, you know, I think Rod did a great job coming out and kind of explaining everything in the Facebook post the other day. And, you know, the people that get upset, you know, so be it. They're going to learn from it. And sometimes you think about, I don't know how long the rule's been going on, 34, 35, 38 years. It's been a while. It's never happened before. Okay. It happened. And you got to look at past history. I mean, to have a successful, scoring system that's worked for the Royal for that many years, there was just something that happened. And I think what I read, he said it took the perfect storm for something like that to happen. So they'll learn from it, and I'm sure that it'll be corrected and probably won't ever happen again. Yeah.
And this is one of the bads I see about social media. You know, people like to get on there and just fire away, and I'm not really down with that. That doesn't help anything or help anybody. So, but again, it was just such a great weekend. The weather was pretty nice. It's a little warm. But all the activities, all the cooking, everything that went on, it is my favorite event of the year, every year, by far. Not even a question.
Yeah, no doubt. It is a lot of fun. And, I think you're like me and everybody else. We love to go in and see our barbecue family, get to hang out, get to visit prior to the big day. We got there. We left Sunday afternoon or Sunday morning, went up to Fayetteville, Arkansas. I was about 200 miles or so from the track, and stayed with my cousin a couple of days. And then Tuesday morning, man, I was like, it's time to go. I got Kansas City fever. So we get up to Kansas City, and, we park in another RV and Tuesday and go grab we went to Q39, good barbecue restaurant, probably one of the best ribs that I've ever had at a barbecue restaurant. It was very, very good. Best brisket by far. Nobody can beat Ernest at Burnt Bean. By far the best brisket ever. And I don't think there's nobody can even come close to that guy's brisket. And, so we was ready, we woke up first thing, Wednesday morning, 7:00, hooked up. We were 15 minutes from the track and we was in the track at 8:15. I already parked it. So we was ready.
I was in that line a little bit further behind you, but I'm the same way. Like as soon as I can get in there, I want to get in there and start getting things organized and getting them ready. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Well, now that the Royal is behind us, you've got a couple busy weeks here lined up, don't you?
Yeah, we're pretty busy for these next few weeks. I'm going to the Jack next week to cook with Sweetie. He invited me to come and cook with him. He got the automatic state championship from New Mexico. He went over there and grand championed it. He won it. And when he was coming back, he said, Magic Mike. I was like, oh gosh. He said, man, you got to go to the Jack with me. And he said, if you help turn my barbecue stuff around, when we was in Bow Bridge filming the Barbecue USA, I kind of gave him some pointers on some things to do. And he said, man, it completely turned my stuff around. And he said, I want you there with me. And I was like, man, I'd be honored to go. I haven't ever been to the Jack. We're looking forward to it. We're going to leave Tuesday, probably around 10:00, probably drive somewhere up around Birmingham. That's where I was born. And then we'll wake up that morning and ease on into the Jack. Can we get in on Wednesday or is it only on Thursday? Do you know?
I'm trying to remember. In my 11 years, I've only been the one time, and I think we were able to get in there Wednesday afternoon, but don't hold me to that.
Really, don't even care. It's just going up there and getting to the town and go blow some money and go eat, So,
and there's so much fun stuff to do there.
Yeah,
it's another one of a kind event, and I'm really glad that you're getting to go and do that. Make sure you go to Miss Mary Bobo's and have a meal. Make sure you go to the party on the hill. That's always a lot of fun, and it's really beautiful up there. And just take it all in. It is a special place and a special contest. Yeah.
So it's going to be fun, and I got a wild hair up my butt and found out there was a barbecue competition that was this weekend, 60 miles from the house. It paid $10,000. And I told Suzette, I was like, I'm going to it. And she said, you have lost your mind. I said, look, I can drive over there Friday. I can cook Saturday. I'll be right back. It's an hour and 15 minutes from the house. I'm going to go to that silly thing. It's too big of a payout not to. So, I got a pool service. I clean pools. I've been doing that for 35 years. In the last 2 days, I've cleaned 45 pools and I got all my pools done. I've already got brisket out. Luckily I already had some ribs trimmed that I was going to take to the Royal. They're great for what I'm going to be doing. So they're already trimmed. I went and picked up 2 chickens. I took the brisket out yesterday. I'm going to have all that stuff trimmed and ready to go Friday morning. I'm out of here. So I'm probably pushing it a little bit, but we got cool weather coming and baby, I can roll when the cool weather's here. I hate that deadgum heat. So
I hear you. I signed up for a contest yesterday coming up this weekend in Pennsylvania. So looking forward to it and looking forward to get out there one more time this year and see what we can do. Right.
So looking forward to it.
Yeah. Not only are you a successful cook in the barbecue world, but also you have started an amazing online learning tool called Barbecue Champs Academy. How's that? That has been, I think, a game changer for a lot of teams out there. I hear a lot of great things and a lot of great vibes about it.
Yeah, we started Barbecue Champs Academy in June of 2019. And, I started cooking in 2013. My first competition I ever went to, there was a state championship over in Dallas, Texas. There was 48 teams and, didn't know what to expect. We went there the year before just to see what it was like. And I was like, this looks like fun. Let's get into this. So my wife was like, yeah, I think you'll do pretty good. So we go over there, first competition ever. I had a 11th place rib and a first place brisket and finished 3rd overall. And needless to say, I was hooked. In 2013, just a learning curve, trying to figure everything out, flavor profile, stuff like that. By 16 or 17, I started getting some grand champions. 2018 was really kind of my breakout year. I had at the end of that year, I had a grand, a reserve, and a grand. I had a first, a second, a first, and a first in brisket, and was really doing good. And by that time, I had been cooking for 5 years. Well, I started seeing, the up and coming cooks like me, and a whole lot of others. I kind of saw some of the older people. They were struggling. They didn't really care about cooking as much. They was wanting to get out. I heard other guys that was kind of new into it. They couldn't figure it out. They was like, I just really don't care about this no more. It's getting too expensive. And, I was like 2019, I was like, I want to do something with barbecue. I had just sold my candle company. I had a big candle manufacturing company, and I had just sold it in 2018, and I wanted to do something for barbecue. At first, my first instinct was to do something like Big Papa Smoker, massive freaking retail. I started looking into that. There wasn't enough profit margin in rubs and stuff. And I was like, what am I doing? I don't want to be stuck here shipping stuff. I just got out of a candle company where I'm shipping stuff all over the United States to retail stores. And, it kind of pivoted, and I was like, what if we had something that would help, people cook? And I had talked to another guy, and, he was wanting to do something, and it was really basically just him. And I was like, no, that's not going to work. We need something that we can reach out to world champions. I want to help cooks on a level that we can grow the sport of competition barbecue and competition steak. And if I can give somebody the platform that they can sit in the comfort of their home and learn this, because a lot of people are embarrassed, especially the older guys, the old timers, they don't really, they think it's really, I don't need that. I don't want to do that. And they may be a little embarrassed to go to a class. Well, now you can do it in the comfort and privacy of your home. And I was like, I want to start something like that. So Joey Smith had just won the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, him and Mark Lambert. He was a world champion. And I called Joey up. I said, Joey, I've got an idea, man. And he said, what is it? I said, I want to start an online tell-all barbecue cooking school that's taught by world champion barbecue pitmasters. I said, it's never been done. And I said, I think this is going to be a pretty cool concept, and I think we can help a lot of people. And he was like, man, anything you touch is gold. I want in on that. And I was like, awesome. Well, right off the get-go, I got Joey. And then I called Robbie Royal. I had never met Robbie. I had talked to him one time, a couple years prior to that. I talked to Robbie and kind of told him what I was wanting to do. And he said, I've always wanted to film that kind of stuff. It's just so much work. He said, man, I'm on. I was like, this is great. Two calls, two people. It was set. I found a film crew here in town that is absolutely amazing. I reached out to a couple SEA steak cookers. They wanted to come in on board, and right off the get-go, we had 4 people ready to start filming. And that was in March of 2019. And in that, between March and June the 28th, we had 3 classes of barbecue filmed and 2 steak cooker filmed. And
wow.
It was a lot of work. I've got an amazing film crew, and I said, look, I'm going to ask you questions. It's going to be questions that, I'm going to get all the information out of you. And I said, we don't cut, we don't edit, just because I'm just going to ask you the question and answer it. So I'm there beside the guys asking the questions that the person that's wanting to learn is probably asking. I ask a lot of questions that I know the answers to, but it's not about me. I want to have it in such a learning platform that I'm asking the questions that they want to know. And, that was the feedback. When we launched that thing on that Friday night, it was Friday night, June the 28th. Man, this thing went viral across Facebook because nothing like that had ever happened. We had like 90,000 views on our video in the first 3 or 4 days. It was just going crazy.
That's incredible. Yeah.
And I was just like, man, this is just on Facebook. This is just people sharing, and classes started selling like crazy, and people started coming back, and they was ordering more classes, and they were ordering more classes. And it was just like, right off the get go. I mean, we launched it on that Friday, and the following weekend One of the guys that I cook with in East Texas, Larry Dwayne Anderson, very good friend. He had bought Corey Mike's class, and the very next weekend, we launched it on that Friday. The following week, he went over to a competition I was at. He had an 8th place chicken and a 3rd place rib and didn't even get a chance to get the stuff for brisket. He picked up $600 and he paid $5.99 for the class. And I was like, and this is a guy that had probably in 2 years of cooking, maybe 2 top 10 calls, maybe 3 top 10 calls. He goes to his next competition. He walks in, 2 out of the 3. He goes the next competition. They had a pork category. He walked in all 4 and got his first grand champion. And by that point, he was at $2,200. And, and that was just the start of it. Next thing you know, we got Mark Lambert coming in. We got Sterling coming in, Smitty. We've got Lee Hickel that came in. We got Craig Sherry that came in. We got David Bosca. So it just continued to grow. And then the SEA stuff was growing as well. We started bringing in Terry Rohn, a 2018 world champion, Matt Overson, 2019 points champion. So the state community all of a sudden just went rampant because in 2020, COVID hit. Barbecue competition got shut down, and holy crap, people are sitting at home. They can't go cook. They were buying videos like freaking crazy. And, the state cookers, I think there's about 1,000 members in the SCA. I know we have sold well over 700 classes to 700 different people in the SCA. And, it really was a huge game changer in the SCA. And then when the barbecue stuff opened up back in, the end of 2021, I think it was 21 when it really started opening, we had so many people that had already bought our classes that now we're starting to see the fruits of their taking the classes, watching them, learning the recipes, learning the techniques, and going out and producing wins. And, the last that I remember, we've had over 1,000 top 10 calls. I quit counting after that. This was probably 8 months ago.
Wow.
I know we've got over 100 people that's had grand and reserve grand champions and thousands of people that's had top 10 finishes. It's been crazy. When I went to the Royal this weekend, I must have had 30 people that came up to me thanking me. One guy said, "You need to be on that stage." I was in the Barbecue Hall of Fame. I was like, "I don't know about that." He said, "Dude, you have changed the sport of barbecue." He said, I never could do good. I never was good. I took 2 classes and man, I'm getting walks like crazy." And he just hugged me and he said, "Thank you so much for putting this platform together for us." And it's just the way that you conduct the class, the way that you get all the information out of the cooks. I'm sitting there like, God, I really want to know this. And it's like 2 minutes later and you're asking that question. And, so that's how it got started. And, I've been very blessed. I've got some amazing, cooks that I have met, that are part of this really cool alumni that we've got. They're dear friends of mine. And, it's really great to be able to see those guys get excited when they have students that are out beating them, right? There's so many people that are beating them with their own recipes and techniques and stuff. And they don't get upset about it. They knew coming into this. I said, guys, it's going to be a game changer. But they still got to cook it. I said, you don't understand. I know you say they still got to cook it, but the details that are in these classes are so intricate and detailed that Stevie Wonder could listen and watch the videos and go out and do it. Because the techniques, it shows everything. They're not missing it. It's not like you're going to an in-person class. You go to an in-person class, you're only going to retain 40%, maybe 50% at best. This, you get all of it. And I think that's what's really changed. A lot of people say, yeah, but you can't taste it and you can't get the tenderness, feel the tenderness. And here's what I tell people. When you go to a class, you only retain 40% of the class, maybe 50%. You're not going to cook the exact stuff. There's no way the recipe is going to be the same. Yeah, you might get to feel it, but I've got a technique that I show the tenderness when we're probing the meat and stuff that I really think everybody's like, man, I see exactly what you're showing. And I said, I guarantee you're going to be within 10, 15 minutes of what these guys are cooking. So that's how it got started. And,
excellent.
It's been exciting.
Well, I guess we both have kind of a great announcement to make right here on the podcast.
Yes, we
What
do.
what's your next class that's coming out?
So let's talk about what we've released in December. We released Bill Purvis Chicken Fried Barbecue. We came back in July and we released Aaron Leslie Texas Oil Dust. He is on your podcast here about a couple months ago. Been and did great at the Royal, by the way. Big calls, finished 18th overall in the Open. And there was another guy that I needed on the East Coast. You know, I have all the Texas cookers. I've got Mark from Tennessee. I got Robbie Royal from Georgia. I got David Bosca in Oklahoma. I needed an East Coast cooker. And Lee Hickle kept saying, you need Luke Darnell. And I was like, Luke Darnell? He said, Luke Darnell is phenomenal. He's the chicken king and he's freaking a world champion. And I was like, you know what? That sounds like the guy I need. If Lee Hickle's giving me a recommendation. So I reached out to the big man himself, Mr. Old Virginia Smoke, Luke Darnell. And, he said, man, I would love to be part of Barbecue Champs. So we filmed Luke's class, 4 or 5 months ago. We was trying to get Aaron's class out, first because we had filmed his class out. I don't ever like putting these on top of each other. And then it just got so hot in August and September. Nobody was hardly cooking. And I said, let's just wait to October to release this. More people's going to be cooking. I know you're going to probably be walking the big stage at the Royal again. So that'll give us something to brag about. And, so we have Mr. Luke Darnell, going to be on Barbecue Champs Academy. We will have his classes available come this Sunday, which is October the 8th. So
yes, October 8th.
Sunday, October the 8th. Probably around 12 o'clock Central, 1 o'clock Eastern. His class is going to go live on Barbecue Champs Academy. I always like to tell people a little bit about the classes and stuff. And, I always kind of gauge, like some people are nervous. Like Joey Smith was so nervous he couldn't hardly get words out, right? And then I just make it easy for the guys. Like just answer my questions. And I will have to say, Luke, you was probably one of our top 3 cooks. You're just fun. You answered every question. I'd ask you a question and you just gave me the solid answer. A lot of times, some of the guys like, I'll ask a question and I didn't get the answer I was looking for. So I'll rephrase the question and ask it in another way because I'm trying to get a little further in depth. And that's how I really try to drag all the information out of you guys. And I will say you really knew kind of where I was going, I guess, or I know you've taught classes before, but, you really answered like everything, just spot on, simple, straightforward. I went through all the videos. I forgot how many videos it is, 38 or 40 videos, almost
38, I think. Yeah.
38 videos. It's almost 8 hours of content and, amazing class. I had a great time going through them and watching them, getting all the edits done, all the pop-ups and stuff like that. So we reinforce. So when you say 1 cup of Blues Hog, well, we put a pop-up, 1 cup Blues Hog, a cup of this, a half a cup of this. So we don't just let you hear it. We put a pop-up and then that way, if you wanted to freeze it, you could pause it. You could write it down. A lot of people say, well, how come you don't print out, a recipe? I'm not doing that. I'm not going to say it. Well, all they got to do is print a recipe because you need to get the class writing it down for yourself. That way you're understanding it. And that way, and I tell people all the time, everybody learns different. So if you're writing it down, you're keeping your notes the way you are going to structure them for you to be able to go out and do the best. So that's the way that we go up and set it up. But man, your class is absolutely awesome. I know you've seen the webpage. I know you saw your promo video. You haven't seen the classes. I will create an account for you and let you go and take a dive into the classes. So,
I know that it was 100,000% fun. We had a great time doing it. You have the best crew, video crews down there. They really know what they're doing, and we had a good time. And we got to talk about what I was doing and how I look at barbecue. And I think that that's a big part of the class is that mindset and the attitude going into it. So this is something that I am very honored to be a part of, and something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. So I'm glad that we could tease it out there here on the podcast and let people know what's going to happen. And, yeah, man, everybody's right. What you've done for barbecue has been exceptional.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I appreciate it. I get a lot of comments. I get a lot of thank yous. I get people constantly sending me Facebook messengers, and everybody, if you buy the all access, so if you want to know what the all access class is, you can buy Luke's ribs, brisket, pork butt, and chicken. That's the all access package. It's $599. With that, you get access to Luke and a private Facebook page where you can ask him questions. If there's something I don't understand, or, hey, I've got a different cooker. Can you give me some advice here? That's really where we hear what these guys are doing, because they'll post, man, I took your class this weekend. I went out and I've freaking been getting killed. I had a third place this, second place this, reserve grand champion. And I mean, it's just hundreds of people will sometimes buy these classes, and we're seeing all their results. People are like, well, how good are they? Well, if you don't believe me, they're any good, buy a dadgum class and go over there and go to that private Facebook page, and you'll see hundreds of people, of all of them together. I mean, of course, Bill Purvis, there's no telling how many he has sold, but he's been on a freaking tear. But you'll see where these guys are posting their results and how well they're doing. Go to Barbecue Champs. BBQChamps.com is the website. There's a review tab over on the right side. I think we've got like 150 or 160 5-star reviews. Every one of them are 5-star reviews. And they're all telling, like, the classes are amazing. The techniques are unbelievable. I did this. I did that. We got people posting pictures. I finished first. I had one guy took a NCAA state class, first competition he goes to, got a first place in his golden ticket. I was like,
that's incredible.
It's really good. And I think we have done a lot to grow the sport. And I say we, it's not I. There is no I in team, and I'm nothing without the cooks. All I'm doing is giving you guys a platform to sell your classes. That's it. I'm kind of the mastermind behind it, of filming it and getting it shot right, and the editing and the website, and then the social media part of it to market it and stuff like that. And that's what I do. And I'm pretty good at it, because I've learned a lot over 4.5 years. And one of the things, I tell people all the time, I set 2 world records drag racing, and I set the record in 96 and in 1997. And in 1997, the race that we went to that I set the world record, I built my own engines. I did my own cylinder heads. I did everything. And I developed my own nitrous system. If you've watched Fast and Furious, you hear them talk about NOS. And so I developed my own nozzle, and the first race we went to, I crushed the world record. And I made that nitrous nozzle for myself, and we was the fastest nitrous car in the country for a pretty good while, especially in our division, for 2 or 3 years. And in 2001, I got a phone call from Edelbrock, who is the largest manufacturer of aftermarket performance parts in the world. And they knew about me, and they knew I had my own nitrous nozzle, and they wanted to purchase it from me. I said, well, I won't let you buy it, but I'll license it to you. So we've got and they're still selling it today. That was in 2001, and I license agreed it to them. And I capitalized on what I did. And I got quite a bit of money off of that deal from Edelbrock, and I still get royalties to this day. And it was a deal that I was in a very good position, and I capitalized on it. And what I had told Joey when I called, I said, Joey, you're a world champion. It's time for you to capitalize on what you have done, your success. If you want to share that information, here's a platform for you to do it. And, you'll make some money along the way because you're a world champion. So that was kind of the reason behind it. I really wanted to watch world champion pitmasters come in and capitalize on their success, because let's face it, it's hard to win world champions. Unless you're, somebody like Mark Lambert, who's got 7, and, Brad, my God, I don't know how many Brad's got. I'm sure him and Tim's got 4 or 5 of them between themselves. You've got a couple. You know, Corey Mikes has got 3. Sterling's got 3 or 4, and Robert Smith's got 3 or 4. I mean, it's hard to get those, but these guys have capitalized, and now they're sharing their wealth of information to the barbecue world. And so Barbecue Champs would be nothing without successful world champion barbecue pitmasters and world champion steak grill masters. It's not about me. I've just created the platform. Yeah, we're always looking for new guys that would be interested in this. We look at your credentials. We look at what you do. We look at your social media, your footprint. And, you know, I mean, I don't have a lot of people reach out to me like, hey, what's the deal to be about Barbecue Champs? How do I go about doing it? So, you know, I'm sure there's some world champions that probably listen to your podcast. And if it's something that you like to do, I can tell you, you're going to make some money. I mean, depending on how successful you are and how big you are on social media, Bill Purvis has got some pretty good money that he's made this year. And, Corey Mike, still 4.5 years later, he still sells classes every month. He came in one time and filmed it, and every month you guys are getting money. You know, it's not, I'm going to come in, film you, and that's it. You know, you guys get money every month as long as you're selling classes. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm very blessed to have such great barbecue friends and family. And, I'm glad to have you part of that, Luke. You're an amazing guy, and it was great to be able to meet, the general, this weekend. And, she's awesome. And, I'm very happy for y'all, and the walks that y'all had this week. So you're just,
it was a lot of fun. And, it's also fun. I mean, sure, the money's nice with classes and stuff, but I really love sharing knowledge, and I love seeing my students do well. And this just was another great opportunity to get that information out to a wider group of people, to a group of people that didn't necessarily want to travel 1,000 miles to come take an in-person class.
Right.
And just to really, you know, keep the interest level in our hobby and grow that, because, you know, people aren't going to keep doing it if they're not successful. So if we can help them, we can help them do that, then we all get to keep doing what we're doing. So
100%. Yeah, you said it. If they go out and 5 or 6, 8, 10 cooks, they're just getting hammered, their interest is going to die real quick. And when they can go out and be successful, I think that's what's really going to help the sport grow. I have no doubt that we have helped a lot of teams succeed, and do very well. And they love it now. They figured it out. They're getting walks. Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation is very near and dear to Joey. I'm sure you know about that. It's for, veterans and first responders that are suffering from PTSD. And, Joey has put together a deal where he brings these guys in and he coaches them. He does everything. His first student that he had, or not student, his first, person that he had was from the military. His name is Josh Hale. And, he was in pretty, you know, PTSD is a pretty tough deal. And Joey put him through the program. He had him come in, and he came back another time when he had somebody else. And Josh has become a very, very good cook. He got so involved in it, and the barbecue family, the community, embraced this guy and gave him an outlet of something that he much needed. And Josh, within literally 6 months, built his own trailer, I believe. I think he may even built his own pit. I think he built his trailer. And he's out kicking butt and taking names. He was at the Royal. He got walks. He went up there, I know, once or either twice, and got a ribbon. And here he is on the big stage at the American Royal, and goes through, and Joey put him through his program and taught him his class, you know.
That's cool.
And to me, that is just so awesome that you see stuff like that. So it's definitely helped. We've helped thousands and thousands of people in the steak and the barbecue community. And I'm glad to see barbecue strong again. It looks like it's as strong now as it's been in a very, very long time.
And hopefully it continues to go that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sunday noon.
Sunday
But
noon.
give it a look see today too. This is on Friday, so make sure you go check it out.
All right, so it's not live on the websites yet. So, but I can tell people how to get there. So I think it's going to be bbqchamps.com/pitmaster/old-Virginia-smoke. So that's kind of the hidden link. And you're going to be you'll be the first one to get it. But let me go and let me just go to BBQ Champs real quick. And I know when you go to like one of our barbecue pit masters, I'm just going to roll down here and just click on any one of them. I'm going to go click on, it don't matter. Let's click on, Corey Mike. So yeah, so it's bbqchamps.com/pitmasters. And then it's old OLD hyphen dash, Virginia VIR smoke, old Virginia smoke. And,
there it is.
Your Virginia smoke. Is that it?
I got her.
There it is. So it's bbqchamps.com/pitmasters/old-Virginia-smoke. And it is there. It's just not live on the website. So this was something else that I wanted to do for Luke that you guys, I've never done that before. I've never had it to where somebody sees a class. We keep it under wraps until it's released. But I told Luke, I said, let's do that. We'll do the podcast. We'll get it out. Your people will be the first one to have access to it. And then we'll put it out on a Sunday at 12 o'clock Central Time.
Very cool. Very cool. Wow. Buddy, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about your next couple of weeks. I'm so glad you get to go to the Jack and experience that.
Yes.
And we could do a whole podcast on Mike and race cars and his this is one of the most successful men I've ever met. And it was such a great time spending time with you and your wife down in Louisiana. That was such a blast. We had some good food.
Oh yeah.
And filmed a great class, and I am really proud of it, really excited, and really proud to be a part of Barbecue Champs. I really am.
I appreciate it, Luke. You're welcome. Welcome to the group of guys. It's really a good group of guys, and they're all good about, sharing the post. And when we put it out, I'll have all them share it as well. And we all want to see everybody succeed in this and get the message out that, hey, here's another world champ that you can get his techniques and his recipes. And you're just a great guy, man. Lee told me he's a big jolly teddy bear. So, and, you're really a super nice guy. I had a great time filming your stuff. So.
Excellent, man. Well, you guys can find it at bbqchamps.com. Get in there, check it out, look around. Class will be live on Sunday at noon, and if you paid attention a little earlier, you can get on there for the old Virginia Smoke class right now. So
that's it.
Mike, it has been a pleasure having you on, buddy, and
thank you.
Good luck in your upcoming weeks.
I appreciate it, Luke. Thanks so much. Thanks for having me, and thank you for being part of Barbecue Champs, brother.
I'm proud to do it.
Thank you for listening to Pitmaster, an Old Virginia Smoke podcast. Be sure to subscribe and like the podcast, rate the podcast, and to share it out with all your friends. Also, be sure to check out the Old Virginia Smoke YouTube channel as well. Tune in next week for another great episode of Pitmaster. For companies interested in advertising, please contact Old Virginia Smoke directly via www.oldvirginiasmoke.com. Pitmaster, an Old Virginia Smoke podcast, is edited by Chris Sedenka. Pitmaster, an Old Virginia Smoke podcast, is a property of Old Virginia Smoke, LLC. All rights reserved.
Old Virginia Smoke.